40% of the poor are under age 18. Given the kinds of jobs you can get if you don't have a high school diploma, and given that there are laws in place to limit how much young people can work, well, if you're under 18 and you're poor, it can't be because you are lazy. In addition to that, 10% of the poor are over 65. We assume that by the time you reach 65, that's retirement age, and you've worked all your life, and you shouldn't have to work anymore. But in addition, there are still a number of jobs out there that have a mandatory retirement age. So what are you going to do? What are your options if you're over 65 and poor? In addition to that, 11% of the people categorized as poor are already working as many hours as they can get. But see, working doesn't always help, because you need 150% of the minimum wage just to get your family above the poverty line. And the people working at these minimum wage jobs are the people who get laid off when the economy dips. And even while you've got the job, there are limits to what you can get. Walmart for decades has kept people below full-time to avoid having to pay benefits. So the government picks up those people's health care instead of the employers. Also, we have 25,000 military families who qualify right now for food stamps. So, more than half of the people who are poor are too old to work, too young to work, or working. So they cannot be poor because they are lazy. And notice, we still haven't covered the disabled, the mentally ill, people living on Indian reservations with 30% unemployment, and so forth. In fact, half of Americans will spend at least a year below the poverty line. Given that our productivity and corporate profits are at record highs right now, and we all average well over 40 hours a week on the job, it doesn't seem to me like we're a lazy country. And yet, our poverty rates are spectacularly high and growing. In addition, while it's true that growing up poor increases the likelihood that a person will drop out of high school and that a person will be poor as an adult, most poor kids finish high school, and most kids who are poor as children are not poor as adults. In fact, 88% of the poor are below the poverty line for 5 consecutive years or less. And the faster a poor person gets help, the less time they spend being poor. So, what causes temporary poverty or a small slide down the rungs of social class? Well, layoffs, of course. Even during good times, it may take months for a downsized worker to find a new job, and the new job they find may not be as well paid as the job they had. As much as 20% of workers never find permanent work again at all. Manufacturing jobs lost to outsourcing or to automation tend to be the better paid union jobs. The service economy jobs that we have left don't pay as well. They're often temporary, and they have fewer benefits, if they have any benefits at all. And this doesn't count recessions. This is what happens when times are considered good.